My name is Irindil, Mathis Irindil, and welcome to The Sims 2 Strangetown. This is just going to be a video where I go over everything that has happened in my Strangetown over the past 40 years. I play in a playstyle where 1 day equals 1 year, and that means that I've been playing in this Strangetown for about 40 in-game days. Now, that's 40 in-game days for all of the main families, the loners, singles, grunts, etc., etc. One thing I did do with this town is I went through and I placed every single bin family in the game, and a few others as well, including some families from the universities and just townies that I've moved into. So in this video, I'm going to go through and just tell you guys a little bit about the town, everything that's happened so far, any kind of interesting stories that have happened. Although in this episode, I'm only going to go through the starting families. I think there's 6 starting families. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess there's 7 starting families. And we'll just go through those, and I will talk to you about them and all of the families that are connected to them. So I think, where else do we want to start but the Curious family? So let's go over here. Let's look at them real quick, if the game will let me. So, you know the Curious family. There's Vicken, Laszlo, and Pascal. Pascal is pregnant at the start of it with his child, and things happened in my Curious family. So let's go in there and check them out. Alrighty, here we are in the Curious family. Is Gabriella still here? Yes, she is. She's in the shower, so we'll wait for her to get out. Alright, so I guess we'll start with Vidkun. Vidkun is the only one of the 3 Curious brothers still alive. His 2 other brothers have passed away. Go ahead and get some food, I guess. Let's Oreo. He never married. He never really did anything. However, he did fall in love with somebody named Allison Fuchs. And together, they have a child, although Vidkun really doesn't know Tyler. I don't even know if he's actually met Tyler ever. And we'll get to Allison at some point, maybe in another video where I explain all the side sims outside of the 7 main families. But yeah, so Vidkun fell in love with Allison here, and they had their kid, Tyler. But as far as Vidkun knows, he doesn't have a son. He doesn't have any relatives other than his niece and great nephews, or great nephew and niece. So yeah, and Tyler doesn't even have his last name. He just has Allison's last name. So that's what's going on with Vidkun. Pascal had, of course, his alien baby. Oh, nope, I didn't mean to hit the camera button, but okay. That's ACR. I use the ACR mod to make things more dynamic in the world. But yeah, this is Gabriella. This was Pascal's baby alien that he was loaded in the game with. What is this? Stay home from work? We can probably do that for you. And she married Elaine. I can't remember what her last name was. She was a townie. I think she was a cashier, and I don't remember what her last name was. But yeah, she married this Elaine here, and together they had a child. When I play The Sims, I kind of like, even though they're same-sex couple, if the alien child or the alien has the black eyes, I play it as they have the ability to still have children. So Elaine and Gabriella then had the child Laszlo, named after Laszlo Curious. He looks very much like an alien in his face, except he has, I think he has his mother's skin tone, or maybe Pascal's skin tone, but he has the eye shape and the nose of an alien. So he is quite strange, but this is Strangetown, so that's allowed. After they had Laszlo, Elaine wanted to adopt a child, and that is how we got little Sally here. Sally, will you stay still so we can look at you, please? Now, I did not create any Sims to be playable Sims in this town. I've only been using bin Sims and townies, except for the children. I have a mod that creates 5 new skin tones for the game, and I do this because The Sims 2 is very limited with their skin tones. Oh my gosh, very limited with their skin tones. I apologize about my voice. I think I'm losing my voice. But I really wanted to get this video recorded because I can't play the game anymore unless I record the video, because I wanted to record the video at 40 years, which means I can't continue the families unless I record this video, so I have to. But, yeah, I created 6 toddlers with the custom skin tones for people to adopt. So far, only 2 of them have been adopted, and Sally here is one of them. But yeah, that is pretty much everybody that's currently living in the Curious Family. Now, let's look at the ones that are no longer living in the Curious Family. So, yeah, we had Pascal and we had Laszlo. Laszlo... Now, I don't know why Vidkin never got pregnant by an alien. He's supposed to. Laszlo did, instead. And Laszlo had Wendell. And when they were in this room, there was a fire. And it was... I'm pretty sure this fire alarm's always been here. But the fire was here or something? I don't remember how it happened. But it happened, and both Laszlo and his son Wendell died. I don't know what happened, but we lost them both. So Gabriella here is the only full alien hybrid living currently in the world. There's Johnny Smith. Oh no. There's other ones. Her sister aunt things, whatever they are, the Curious sisters, not her, obviously. You guys know what I mean. The singles Curiouses. We'll get to them eventually. But yeah, I think that's everything with the Curious Family. I think at the moment, Vidkin is probably going to go attack Elaine because he does not like her for some reason. Please don't go do that, Vidkin. Alright, let's move on to the next family. Alright, and welcome to the Smith family. It is not my biggest family in the game, I don't think. I think there's 6 people. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there's 7. I think I have a family of 8. I can't remember at this point. But yeah, this is the Smith family. I'm going to stop this because Ophelia might be leaving. No, she's not. Okay. I do have this little bug here. I think all I have to do is just reload the game and it fixes it. It's not corruption. I'm 100% sure it's not corruption. It's fine. So we'll start with Johnny here. Johnny Smith. You can tell here he's getting a little bit on in years here. And he married his high school sweetheart, Ophelia Nigmos. And Ophelia is also getting a little bit old here. And they had 3 children. Here's Curtis, Curtis is going to work at the moment. He is a scientist, and he looks very much like Johnny. I don't know if there's any Ophelia inside of, his face at all. But then after... Oh, there's a little bit of lag. It might be from the amount of people. After Curtis, they had a second child who might look a bit more like Ophelia, actually. I can't tell. But this is Paul. He's named after his grandfather, Pollination Technician number 9, who Paul, our Pollination Technician, died very soon after we started playing, obviously. And then Jenny died not too long ago, actually. I think she met all of her grandchildren. Did not meet her great-grandchild, though. And the next one is Nathan Smith. Let's see, look at Nathan. I think it's mostly Johnny. I think he's probably mostly Johnny. There's their puppy Susie. Now, the only one that is currently married is Curtis, who is at work. But Curtis married Edward Fuchs, who was, I believe, another cashier here in Strangetown. And because Curtis didn't have the alien eyes, I did not let him have a same-sex child with Edward. But they did adopt because Edward wanted to. I play, like I said, I play once. I don't know if I actually said it in this video. I play once based play style, and Edward wanted to adopt, and so they adopted little Grace here. She has one of my custom skin tones, and she is going to be probably Curtis and Edward's only child. I don't know if I'll allow them to adopt anymore because I have a very large Strangetown, a very large population. But I think that's everybody in this household. Jill lives in another household. I'll just explain a little bit about Jill. I'm not going to go to her household right now because she no longer lives here, but I will just go and click on her here. Here is Jill Newson. She married Gavin Newson, and they have a child together, Garmin. And I probably, if I make another video on Strangetown, I will check out the Newson family. But for right now, I just want to do the 7 main families. Also, there's food over here, guys. Why aren't you eating? And here we have come to the Beaker family. I don't think anybody's at work. I think everybody's here. Yeah, everybody's here. Alright, so we have Loki in the bathtub. We'll check on him in a little bit. But here is Cersei. She... Again, I have this glitch. I'm going to figure it out. I don't really know what's causing it, but I have been told it's not corruption. I think I just need to restart the game or whatever, because I don't always have the issue with her. But she's here eating her toaster pastries, and Loki is up in the bathtub. I don't know if I really need to show you guys Loki. He's a top secret researcher. She's a specialist. There's not much else to them. They're just the Beakers. They lost their test subject. We'll get to him later. But Loki and Cersei had 3 children. One of them is Balder. Balder, you can call it like fateful if you want, or I don't really know how to describe it. But Balder here, he looks so much like Loki. He's got the eyebrows, he's got the nose. I don't know what to do with him. But Balder wanted to become a witch. And I let him become a witch. And because he is kind of very, very grouchy, he is a mean witch. But that doesn't mean he's a bad person or whatnot. He's actually fairly nice. He does like his family quite a bit. So he's just a warlock that does mean things. He's not a bad warlock yet. He might progress to become an evil warlock. But something very recently happened with Balder. He just got back from college, and he met somebody in college. What was her name? Oh gosh. We'll remember her in a second. But he fell in love with a dormy. He got engaged to a dormy, and he was going to have a family with a dormy. He's a family sim. This is what he wants. He wants it more than anything. But you can see here they had a wedding, but he caught her cheating with Jimmy Phoenix. And by cheating, I mean they were kissing at their wedding. Jimmy was kissing Arlene at Arlene and Balder's wedding. So Balder is a family sim, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna forgive you. He was not in love with her anymore, but they still had a high enough friendliness skill. He still had his crush on her. They were able to get married still, so I went over and I had them get married. I had Balder, line up there. Arlene went up there, and then she left Balder at the altar. Had a terrible party, and that's kind of the end of their story, like Balder and Arlene. However, Arlene did go and marry Jimmy Phoenix. So she lives over, let's see if we can see them from here. They would be over this way. She lives over at you can't see them. They're just beyond the Ottawa's house there. There's a apartment complex, and that's where Arlene lives with her new husband. So I do want to find somebody for Balder here, but there aren't many. See, here she is. He's still best friends forever with her, but not very happy. But yeah, there aren't many like available people for Baldur at the moment. But he might find somebody eventually. We'll see what happens to him. Now, Loki and Circe did have 2 other children. Their first child was Melody, and Melody married the townie Gerard Landry, and they have a child, Timothy Landry. And Timothy is named after another Sim, one of Melody's best friends, and we will get to him. We will get to that Timothy. Their second child, because Baldur was their third, was Sincerity. And Sincerity is married to Sid Roseland. They have a daughter, Meridia Roseland. And that's basically it with the Beaker family for the moment. And here we have the Spectre family. Spectre was only in quotations there, because nobody with that last name, nobody in that last name is still alive or still lives here. When Olive died, Ophelia did not want this house. She wanted to go and live with Johnny. So the house went to Ophelia's next of kin, which is her closest kin, much closer than Ophelia. It went to Olive's son, Nervous, who was taking a bath. And Nervous has had a rough life, which you know. He married very, very late, which is why his child is a teenager while Nervous is very old. But he eventually did fall in love with somebody, much to my surprise. He fell in love with Kristen Lost, who is going to woohoo with him now. Stop it for right now, Kristen, please. But it's weird. I did not expect Nervous to ever find anybody, but he fell in love with Kristen Lost. This is all through ACR. He gained feelings for her, and he wanted her really bad. I don't know if Kristen wanted her as bad, but she does like him. He likes her just a bit more. Nervous, for whatever reason, has a thing for Circe too, despite all the things that she used to do to him, but clean the cat box, please. Nervous. But together, Kristen and Nervous have a son who took on Kristen's last name because Nervous subject is not a name. His last name should be something. Nervous's last name should be something, but he just doesn't know his name. That's how I'm putting it. He doesn't know what his real name is. But this is Nemo Lost. The name is very much a pun. You can laugh at it. You can hate it. I don't care. But yeah, this is Nemo. He is the child of Kristen and Nervous, and he has a very odd personality because he is his father's son. He's very active, very nice, and fairly playful, but he is completely sloppy and he's completely shy. So he still has the messed up personality, but is not nearly as bad as his father's. So they are going to go ahead and woohoo. I did rearrange Olive's garden because I can't play with those ghosts, so I just moved them next door. This is the Spectre Cemetery. It's basically just Olive's Garden 2.0. I haven't moved anybody else into that except for Olive herself, so she can just reign over her little subjects. Alright, and we are at the Grunt family. We have, obviously, Tank, Rip, and Buck, and their family dynamic is a little bit better than what it used to be. Because they all, Tank and Rip get along pretty well, not so much Buck, but Rip and Buck get along decently. Now, Tank is fairly unlikable, which you guys know. So he has, no chemistry with any available woman at all. He is straight, I have checked, but I can't find him a partner, and I think that's okay. I don't think he needs a partner. I do want him to become friends with Sincerity Beaker, or Sincerity Roseland now, but obviously she's married, and they don't have chemistry anyways. But, so he never got married, he never had children. So it ends with Tank. And I never was able to give Tank and his father a good relationship. Tank hated his father. They got into fights all the heckin' time. This was with General Buzz. Yeah, they were not good together. And I I don't know if I miss Buck or not, or Buzz or not. Don't go to work yet, Kendall. We're gonna talk about you. I'm not saving this anyways, so it doesn't matter if you miss the bus. All right, the next one is Rip. Now, Rip has been very much a story pusher in this game. He went to university, and before he went to university, as a teenager, he met a townie, Allison Fuchs, right here. You've seen her in the other families because she is connected to everybody. Allison wanted to go to college with Rip because she was madly in love with him. And Rip had some strong feelings with her too. However, Rip is a romance sim and would not ever want to propose engagement to her. So, Allison has lived in her own house by herself ever since she left university. And Rip and Allison had a child together in Trixie Fuchs. Trixie is very much like her father. She's a romance sim. She's woohooed with I don't know how many guys in town, and I'm surprised she hasn't gotten pregnant yet. I'm really surprised she hasn't gotten pregnant yet. But just like how Tyler doesn't know his father, Trixie doesn't know Rip. She's met him. I know that she's met him, but aside from that, she just has nothing to do with him. I don't think Allison ever told Rip about her, and I don't think Allison's ever told Trixie anything about him. But yeah, I really feel bad for Allison. But at the same time, she has never wanted to marry anybody else. She's had 3 different lovers and has never wanted to marry any of them. So, she has never if she would have rolled the one, I would have initiated it through her, but she never has. So, and she's not a romance sim. I think she's a fortune sim. So, don't know what's up there. Now, Buck, where's he at? Buck, where you at, bud? All right, Buck has been the most proactive or stable member of the Grunt family, and has married a townie, Kendall Lawson, I think is what her last name was, who was a townie, and they really like each other quite a bit, and she's just a really nice woman. She's a fortune sim just like him, and they've always really liked each other, and they have two children. Newt is at university currently, so we can't look at him because I'm not going to go check out the university. And their second son, Bark. Bark is right here, serving toaster pastries for some reason. And he's a little bit shy and nerdy, but he's knowledge sim. He's not like any of the other grunts, but oh my gosh. He's not like any of the other grunts. He's a little bit different, but he's a nice guy too. I have not found any partners for him yet, but we'll get to them eventually. There are a lot of girls in town that he could eventually meet and marry, like the Optimus girls, or there are a few. I just don't know any of them right now. But that is the Grunt family at the moment. All right, here we are in the Loner family. I had to stop AJ from woohooing. But yeah, here's the Loner family with AJ Loner, who's the only one you start out the family with. He married Lola Curious, or Lola Singles, whatever you want to call her. And I've always thought that they were meant to be together. You're not gonna woohoo. No, okay, you're not. Okay, good, just making sure. But I've always thought they were meant to be together. Obviously, they thought so too, because they got together pretty much on their own. But yeah, they got married very early on. They have never been very wealthy. I don't know why they've just not been... Oh, no. Okay, we're gonna look away from them. But yeah, they tend to be hard to get money for, and I don't know why that is. But Lola and AJ had two children, actually. One of them is Sanjay Loner, who is currently on the toilet, and Sanjay is a family sim. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't really care about a job. All he cares about is having children. He wants to have another child, and he married. Who's the card here for? I don't even know. Okay, Sanjay, get out of the way so your wife can go to the restroom, please. Sanjay, get out of the way. Your wife is going to pee herself. Alright, there she goes. Alright, so Sanjay is very dirty, very stinky right now. But he married Gabriella Newson. So, you know, the Newson family, there's 6 of them, and they're incredibly hard to deal with because none of them are adults. Well, I got one of them out of the house, thankfully. And here's Gabriella. She married Sanjay Loner, and together they have a daughter, little Chloe Loner. She's named after Chloe Curious, Chloe Singles, whatever you want to call her. And I really think she's going to end up looking a bit like Chloe. Her cheeks are a little bit sunken in, and that might be from Gabriella. But I think she's going to be, you know... Let me look at her personality here. She's a Leo, so I can't remember what is Leo. That might be a romance him. She might be just like her great aunt Chloe. But we'll see that when we get here. But Sanjay and Gabriella had another child. Oh, no, they didn't. Not Sanjay and Gabriella. AJ and Lola. Oh my gosh, if they had another child, that would be crazy because we have no money well, we have money, but no room in this house. There's no room in this house for anything. But they had another child, Zoe. Zoe is named after one of Lola's ancestors, Zoe Curious. And Zoe is currently married to Julian Cook. And we're not going to go to see them or anything, but just mentioning it here. But yeah, Julian and Zoe really hit it off, and they are together. So the next family we're going to go to is the Singles family. And Singles family is very split up. One of them is here. So we're going to go see what they've been up to. Alright, and here we are in the Singles family. It's not a Singles family anymore, but it still has the name because I never changed it in SimPE. I probably will just keep it as that to separate them from everybody else. Not that I need to anymore, which I'll get into. But here's Chloe Curious. And because she is a romance sim, she has had numerous interactions with men across Strangetown, downtown University, or whoever came to see her. And she's lived a very typical romance sim life. She was a professional party guest, top of her career, and she only ended up having one child with one of her lovers, who is Timothy. So we have Timothy Pye here. He is the Timothy that, I think it was Melody's son was Melody Landry. Her son was named after him because they are best friends forever. He was there at the birth of the child, so we just named him Timothy after him. Now, Timothy then married Tina... Oh, gosh, what's her name? I can't remember what her name is, but she's a townie, well-known townie. And they had twins together, and I named the twins Glam after one of Lola's ancestors. I think it's... Yep, right here. Oh, I know! I named him... It should have been Glarn. I can't read. Well, I think I'm going to keep it Glam for right now, so just a little bit different. And Glam, because, you know, he's going to have a glamorous lifestyle. I don't know. Maybe I will fix it to Glarn. Oh, I've never noticed that before. How did I never notice that? Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. And then Glam/Glarn's baby sister, or little sister, Lola. So the Loners have a Chloe, named after Chloe. And then the Pies, I guess, have a Lola named after Lola. I thought that was really nice. But really, that's it in the singles household proper. We need to go and actually check on the other... Well, hold on. What was I talking about? They're also spread apart. There's only one other single that I need to worry about. I don't know why I was so worried about it. But yeah, there's only one other single that we need to check on. Alright, and here we are in the Menon family, which is an extension of the singles family, because here's Aaron Beaker. Aaron did not ever marry, and she really probably should have, but she fell in love with Waylon Menon, who is I believe he's a downtownie, actually. But yeah, they fell in love, and they had a child with Sangria here. And Sangria is a family sim. She wants to get married to David Otimus, and they're very close. But David is currently in university, so I'm kind of waiting on that. But that's really all that happened with Erin. She's a sous chef, I believe. So is Waylon here, and what are you doing, Sangria? Okay, you're not making a booty call. That's fine. But yeah, that's really all that's there with them. They live in an apartment. They do have enough money that maybe they could find their own place now, but really, because I don't like let them start off with the 20,000 simoleons so they can buy a big old house just by moving out. I feel that's a bit cheaty. So they only had like 1,000 or 2,000 to start off with when they moved into here. Who is this? Oh, it's Krista Yanada. We're not gonna deal with her. But yeah, that's all of the main beginning houses. Now there are a lot of the minor houses. They are split apart from the main houses, Aaron's here. But I guess I'll just show you them in the town view. Alright, here we are in the town view. Now, when I said I played for 40 years, I really did mean only with the main 7 households. The rest of the bin families I kind of trickled in as I gained a tolerance for more families. I think I have 22 families that I have to play now because I've added all of them. So I've got a lot to do in this town. So first one we'll look at here's the Otimus family. Not much has really happened with them. Samantha had her 2 kids, her twins. And David went to college, and that's really all that happened with them. Who else we got down here? Moving over. Here are the Nuisance. The Nuisance, all the girls have moved out. You saw one of them in the Loner family. And we'll see the other ones when we go to downtown. But let's open it up here. Gavin here, he married Jill, and they have Gehrman, which we already talked about. And Garrett and Gallagher are having troubles with their future partners. Not so much Garrett. He is talking to a townie, and they might get married soon, maybe. Gallagher is romantic with Trixie Fuchs, who we've already talked about is a romance sim and has already taken on a lot of lovers, which is rough for Gallagher because he's a family sim. So he's going to have to find somebody else if he wants to have a wife, because Trixie's never going to get over, allow marriage or anything like that. Oh, I did forget to talk about businesses and things like that, though. As I was looking at Jill here, Jill owns this little 36 Road to Nowhere. It's really just a arcade. It's Jill's Arcade. It's called the Smith Arcade, but it's Jill's Arcade, and it's actually not doing too bad. It's only a level 3 business, I believe, and it's only served 48 customers, but, it's not doing too bad. This over here is the Grunt Fitness Center. This is owned by Buck, because he's a business sim and he wanted to start a business. I thought, what else would a Grunt make than a gym? But it's actually going pretty well too. I know it's only a budding brokerage, but it's making me much more money, or making the Grunts much more money than Jill's business is over there. But yeah, those are the only 2 owned businesses in the town. Alright, and here we are in downtown SimCity. It's just the downtown. I just always call it downtown SimCity because it never makes sense for the neighborhoods in The Sims 2 to have a downtown like this. It just never makes any sense. So I just treat it as part of, the Sim City, capital of the Sim Nation, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, it's fairly populated because I moved in all the Ben families. I only had two in... Yeah, I only had two in Strangetown proper. So here we have the Fuchs family. This is where Allison, Tyler, and Trixie live. I did write a message here for the Fuchs family. You can read it here if you want to. A little bit of lore. I've already kind of explained the lore, but you can read it. And they're the only towny family that I did this for. I got a little bit lazy with everybody else. Here's the Gavigans. Nothing much has happened with them. We have Isaiah here, and then Mary and Nathan had another child with Ezekiel. Travelers, not much has happened with them. Goodies. Okay, the Goody family. Kenny here is the adopted son of Herbert and what's Herbert's wife's name? I can't remember what her name is. I'm blinking right now. But they adopted Kenny Goody here. Kenny is not one of the 6 toddlers that I have created for like the custom skin tones. They adopted Kenny before I did that. So Kenny just has one of the base game skin tones, but he's a really nice guy. He's a family sim. He married Renee Andrews, who was a townie. So far they don't have any children. They're probably going to very soon. Right now they just have 2 kitties. The Picassos. Picassos have one child, Ben Picasso. And other than that, their lives are going pretty well. They have enough money to start off with. It's hard for their life not to go very well. Here's the Roseland. We already talked about them with Sid and Sincerity and their daughter Meridia. Here's the Cooks. Already talked about them with Zoe, Loner, and Julian. The Ramaswamis with their child Mahit. And last but not least, the Landrys with Gerard, Melody, and Timothy Landry. Alright, and we're back in Strangetown proper because I did want to mention these people over here because I probably should have. Here is the Swain family. It's made up of... Can you not look at them? Okay, you can. Alright, here's Eric Swain and Jimmy Phoenix. They're 2 Sims you could find at Sim State University. In the bin. There is another one in the bin, but I haven't moved that family into a thing yet because I have too many families already. But Eric here married Georgia Newson. And they have Garrett Swain as their child. Jimmy, we talked about him already. Jimmy married Arlene, whatever her last name was, who was previously engaged to Baldur Beaker. Jimmy is already causing problems because he's also in love with Trixie Fuchs and has already cheated on Arlene, even though he's not. He's a family sim. I don't know why he's doing it, but he is. But yeah, that is the Swain family. They're a very drama-filled family, unfortunately. And then there's the Howe family. Matthew Howe is a townie, moved him in, and he is going to marry a Ginger Newson. And I believe that is every family in my Strangetown playthrough. Only one that I haven't moved in yet is the Critters, and I also didn't do the families that are in the lots, like the cats and things like that. And I don't know if I will move them in, because I'm taking a little bit of a break from this Strangetown. I've been playing for 40 years, and I'm not bored of it, but I've kind of become obsessed with it. So I'm taking a break from this town, and I'm going to play one of the other towns. I think I'm probably going to play River Blossom, because, fun fact, I've never played any of the expansion towns. I've only ever played Strangetown and Pleasant View, and a little bit of Veronaville, but I don't like Veronaville. So I want to experience the other towns, and maybe I'll move the cats and whoever the other lot family is into River Blossom if I need more blood. But for now, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, maybe a month or 2, off of Strangetown, and just focus on other stuff. Of course, my Let's Play Town as well, but that's for recording. This is just for pleasure, because I love The Sims 2 so much. It is absolutely my favorite game. But this recording is stupidly long. I'm going to have to edit it. It's going to take me a very long time to edit it. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, if you just enjoyed listening to me ramble on about the crazy and horrible things my Sims get up to, consider leaving a like. And if you'd like to see more things like this, consider subscribing. And I will see you all later.